For this week's discussion post on Justice Chapter 2, it was focused on utilitarianism, I think is how you say it. Regardless, utilitarianism, I'm sorry, I just butchered that word, is defined as sorry, I'm in the library hiding from the storm right now, so you might be hearing the rain or some of the lightning. Anyway, utilitarianism is defined as the ethical theory that promotes the maximum net pleasure. And so there's the thunder. So just from statistics, I know for a fact that the net worth or the net value of anything is something minus something else, and that's going to be your net. So for this one, it's going to be the overall happiness minus the overall pain, and that's going to be the net pleasure. That's going to be whether it's a positive or a negative net pleasure. And so for the two questions that we were assigned this week, for question 1, it was a woman who's pregnant due to rape is trying to decide whether to abort or to maintain the pregnancy. And so it's kind of hard not putting my opinion in it. But for this utilitarianism, I'm sorry about that, it's just not going to work. I think overall it's the discretion of her, but for this assignment, for this exercise, like I just defined, utilitarianism is the majority, so it's going to be majority rules, regardless of her situation or not. And just here in recent news, with it being such a big ordeal with abortion, most people are voting against abortion, and so for that, just as that majority, it would have to go more so towards maintaining. I know a lot of people, especially here in Tennessee, we voted against abortion, and so just as the overall, however, it could either be the majority that the baby's going to be involved with, or it's going to be the majority that she's going to be involved with, or it can be the majority that the community's involved with, and so that way it can be swayed a couple different ways. I thought this was just a really difficult question because there are so many different ways to define it and to answer it, given that could be my own fault of that. But overall, I think it's probably going to be whoever's in the baby's life is going to be the majority overall. And so, with a negative connotation with being pregnant and also a victim of rape, that's going to have the negative connotation with it. And so most people are going to say, you don't want to carry around, this is hard for me to say, but you don't want to carry around this burden that was put upon you by not your choice. And so that one would be more so abortion. And for the second question, should the Supreme Court overturn its decision forbidding the law for gay marriage? And I just know for a fact, I don't have a statistic, but I know for a fact that Tennessee, I believe, voted for gay marriage, and so just in our state, the net pleasure would be pro-gay marriage. Overall in the nation, there's a reason why the law was passed, there's a reason why this issue came up and it was passed, and it was because there were so many people who were fighting for it versus against it. And so just the overall happiness versus the overall pain is the net pleasure. The overall people who had voted for gay marriage versus people who voted against it, the pro outweighs the cons, and so that's why we now have a nation that allows gay marriage, and we also have a nation now that allows abortion in both of those. And so this was actually a really fun chapter to read, and I'm excited to take the midterms.